Dozer, when you're done, bring the ship up to broadcast depth.
Yo, peace, ladies and gentlemen. It's your man Trip coming at you with another video. Man, I hope everybody is having a great weekend, staying safe, working on your fitness, working on your mental health, doing whatever you need to do to better yourself. Yesterday, I was heading down to Maryland to do a load, and I was getting fuel, and I noticed that the tire was bulging a little bit on the outside drive. So I popped the cover off, and I got the gauge out and checked it, and it wasn't registering. It wasn't registering. So, I got the air hose out and I pumped it up to 100 pounds PSI. I went inside, got a banana, and I used the restroom, came back out, and I could hear it, hissing. So I put in a request to get the tire changed. Now, I already said that the tire was low. I'm going to check it out when I get to my destination, which was about 5 hours away. But it was hissing, so, it's leaking. It was still on the bead, all that, so whatever. They put me in the shop. I sent the pictures in, did all that, got to the shop, went and took a shower, actually, at this point, while they're working on it. Get done, and the tire looked like this. Now, that tire has been featured on SoCal's channel in his community post. Thank you, SoCal, for showing that. The metal staples is the #1 issue that you can see. Now, I understand that's how they hold the glue together when they do a retread. I fully understand that. However, no metal is allowed to protrude into the tire, a metal staple specifically, according to FMCSA and DOT, because it can work its way down. But I don't know if you guys notice in that picture, there's also gaps in the tread being brought together. There's a couple other pictures where there's other staples throughout the tire and just like warped rubber. So I said something about it to the breakdown people, and I'm like, hey, I don't think that I'm supposed to have this staples. And I send the FMCSA and the DOT, and they're like, yeah, you're right. So after some going back and forth, they said we're gonna get a replacement tire. Okay, well, I had to get in line, but they closed at a certain time, so they extended the drop off for that load to today, and all the way up to midnight. And so I went in the morning to get the tire replaced. They were like, well, we don't have any order for that tire to be replaced. I'm like, it says right here they ordered it. 2 different people said that it's authorized. So I get in contact with my people at Hirschbach. They have no record of it. None whatsoever. Okay. So I had to resend the pictures in, explain the problem. They're like, oh, Love says that's not a problem. I send the FMCSA ruling and everything. They're like, oh, okay, so we'll have them take the staples out. I'm like, okay, what about these gaps right here? What about this warp? Looks like a perfectly good tire. That's what they're saying. I'm like, listen, I understand that they're saying that. However, they did let a tire go out the shop that didn't meet the DOT standards. Oh, we understand your concerns, but they say it's okay. Okay. I have 2 authorizations from people higher than you yesterday to get this tire replaced. I don't see that. Can you send that to me? So I send that to them as well. Oh, but they're not here today. Okay, what difference does it make? Right? So after hours of doing this, and I'm just like, I'm not driving the tire. I don't care if they take the staples out. I'm not driving. It's got gaps in the tread. You know, I actually went in with the marker and drew where the different areas were. And also it rolled like way higher. So it was at like 20-30 seconds, and the inner tire was at 14-30 seconds. And Love's is supposed to be 5-30 seconds difference only. I'm like, yeah, but it meets the minimum requirement. I'm like, my life is not the minimum requirements. I pay 10 cents a mile. 10 cents a mile for unlimited maintenance. Get me a proper tire. This continues on. I'm arguing and explaining, you know, all this stuff. They're talking to me about the contract, how they get to pick things, and like that. It doesn't say that in the contract. I'm reading the contract to them because I'm independent. I could. That means I get to choose, you know. Whatever. So all of this arguing with the company back and forth. Now, I still haven't received an apology or anything for this. A Love's manager comes out and he looks at the tire and he looks at the order. And he's like, that's not the tire that is supposed to go on this truck. That tire right there is a tire that we have branded to Love's that will just get you home. And it's not supposed to be under a load. It's the cheapest retread tire we have. It's just to do that. It's not a tread depth match type of tire. We're not, like, it's not designed, like, we don't have to put two different together. It's just to get somebody to the next spot. So they tell Hirschbach that they messed up and put the wrong tire on. So the issue now is that this entire time they wanted me to continue doing something that was not in the right. Number one, it wasn't legal because of the staples, the metal inside the tire. And two, it was just the wrong fucking tire. So my intuition and years of expertise of looking at tires and having plenty of retreads come off while I'm driving, paid off. And my dispatch was like, yo, we're actually happy you stood up for yourself. Everybody here is actually happy you stood up for yourself. They need to start doing this for more drivers. So it seems like there's maybe some stuff going on at Hirschbach. I did talk to somebody yesterday and they said they're looking at changing how the lease works. You know, because we pay a lot of money into these maintenance accounts. 10 cents a mile. They say their average is 2,500 miles a week. That's 120,000 miles per year, which is $12,000. And if you're only using $6,000 to $8,000 worth of maintenance, where's the other $4,000 going? And you do that over 3 years, you're paying into nothing. You're being robbed. So you have to stick up for yourself. Now, I'm not going to leave Hirschbach at this moment, even though I've really considered it. But I'm just going to continue going forward. Like, these are the issues that happen between companies, and you know, this could easily happen at any company. It could happen as a company driver or a lease op. Now, owner op, hey, you get to pick whatever you want to spend your money on. I wanted to choose what I want to spend my money on, but I understand that they have their standards or whatever, but there should be a, you know, like, let's say I wanted to use the Roadrunner card when I was at Roadrunner with my truck. I wanted to use their money to get a tire or a set of tires. They would say, well, we need to choose from Bridgestone, Yokohama, whatever, Goodyear. They would have like 3 choices with whatever, within a certain range. You can't get, Continentals or whatever. Like, you couldn't do certain things like that with their money, even though you're paying them back. But you still had choices. Here, it was just like, no, that tire's good. And these are the people deciding what's safe. And they said that it was good. And it wasn't. It wasn't even the tire that they paid for. But some guy in the office is trying to tell the driver who's right there, no, you need to get going. Always stand up for what you believe in and what you know is right. Remember, you have to work together, especially if you're working with a billion-dollar corporation with the 3rd largest refrigerated fleet in the world. It's something for me to keep my eyes open on as I move forward. I probably now will just continue driving, continue getting my health together, and just move on. And not, if that's what it's going to be, I'm not going to do the build a fleet or anything like that. If that's what it's going to be, straight up, no, absolutely not. If these people on the phone, and this happened yesterday too, like it took hours to get to where I needed to be, with getting a replacement tire, which never happened, but until today. And then I had to deal with a whole new set of people who do the same thing over again, and they still never said yes or apologized or anything. It's just Love's finally came to them and was like, no, we put the wrong tire on. This is not the tire y'all ordered. And he's right, it's not good for the road under a load. It's just what it is. So you have to stick to your guns. Remember, you are operating a business, but more than that, you're operating a commercial vehicle. It's your license on the line and your life. I know I'm going to be going through Pennsylvania hills, and at nighttime, I don't need that thing coming off and hitting something. I had a tire explode, and before, when I was on another reefer, and it took out the fuel lines to the reefer. That could have been catastrophic. It could have been very bad. I mean, the reefer shut down immediately, but we rigged some tubes to get it working, and that was another situation where a company wanted me to continue running that reefer even though the cross members broke. They were like, oh, you only need to have you just can't have 5 missing. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not what the FMCSA says at all. It says no cracks or no cracks or welds on the cross members. Any of them. It doesn't say you can have 5 of them gone. No, it doesn't say that. See? So stick to your guns. You guys are the professional. Somebody in the office, they're not the professional. I will say this though. There were professionals at Hirschbach, finally on the weekend as well. A dispatcher named William was very, very helpful in solving the situation and not creating more of a problem, just siding with his company. And he said, we actually need more drivers like you, because people get frustrated and just leave because they're not being heard. And they give in. They're not being heard, and then they give in so they can continue making money. No. Your life is on the line. You need to stick to your guns. Make them honor the contract. If the APU is broken, make them honor the contract. It's full service. They didn't say, oh, everything but this. That needed to be in the contract then. You're paying 10 cents a mile, not 10 cents a mile for everything but this, or everything but a proper tire. You're allowed to have this crap, shitty tire. that I'll put the picture up if people didn't see on the Soul Couch channel. Maybe some of you would think it's okay. I just didn't think it was okay. And it turned out it wasn't even the right tire. They put the wrong tire on. They put the cheapest of the cheapest in. Turns out Hirschbach, they didn't even get the cheapest of the cheapest. So they were getting ripped off, and they had a problem with it. But it was like roadside people. And they're in the office, and they're like, oh, well, the people that make these decisions have been doing this for decades. Well, that doesn't mean that they're right here, right now. Turns out in this time I was right. I was right. Not always right, but this time I was. But it's not enough to make me leave yet. Things happen. Could have been worse. I really thought about leaving. And maybe I will. But as of right now, I'm going to get with the team on Monday. And because they actually approved it yesterday. There's just some other people that decided to go against them. So, yeah. We'll see what's good. And now I guess I'm finishing up a 34. And they repowered that load. I requested a repower, and because I didn't know how long it was going to take, and good thing, I mean, I would have still had plenty of time because it was due by midnight tonight. I was like 5 hours away, and I got done right when I got done is when the other guy showed up, so I would have been good to go, but it is what it is. So grind hard, hustle hard, know your worth, know your potential, and most definitely never settle. I'm out. Peace.
Ninja vanish!